Hello everyone, welcome back to my video. I'm your host Crypto Lewis, and today I have possibly the best video that I have ever done, until the next one, of course, because the next one will always be a lot better than this one. But this video is, I'm telling you guys, the information that I am going to be providing through every minute, through every second of this video is so much and so important. It's super important, and I really highly advise that you guys listen through every single second of this video if you really want to live up to what the name of this video is. So listen to every word that I say. I'm not a financial advisor, and I would probably say this again, but this is extremely important. This is all based on research. This is all based on experience and just how things work out and how they've always worked out. So if you really enjoy this content, if you really enjoy the information that I'm giving out, please give this video a like, subscribe to the channel for more content like this, and let's get straight into the video. The potential that is in the market right now is insane, and I'm telling you right now, and I've said, I'll say this for the last bull run that we just had, and for this one that we're about to have, it's impossible to not make money in the market. Just as serious as that. It's impossible to not make good money in the market. The only way that you won't make money in the market is if you're not smart. If you are not investing smart, if you are not smart, you won't make any good money in this market, because I mean, it's easy. It's easy. It's the strategy that you use what defines if you're in the smart category or an excuse this or in the stupid category. It's as simple as that. The strategy that you use is what defines who you are as an investor. If you're investing into a coin as it's pumping, you're in the wrong category. You're in the bad category. If you're investing in a coin before it pumps, even during it's going down, you're in the smart category. That's where you get the big bucks. You're not going to make any good money as a coin's going up because you're already late. The whole point was getting there before the pump. Who do you think looks better? Somebody who was in a coin before the pump and then it pumped 5x, 10x? Or the person who was there in the middle of the pump or late in the pump and then it just dumps on them? Because that's usually what happens. If anybody invested in the peak of Sandbox because of how much it has gone up, and you're losing now, you're probably losing now. I mean, no, you're losing now. It's there's no doubt about it. And so that's today. I'm going to be giving tips of how to avoid losses, how to make gains guaranteed. This is not financial advice though, so don't follow it if you don't want to. I'm not a financial advisor, but these are the strategies that I've used that have inevitably given me gains. You will get gains with these strategies. You're going to get some losses too, but the whole idea, and I've said this since the beginning, is to make more gains than you make losses. So that's exactly what I'm going to be talking about today. If you missed the last pump, the whole idea of this video is if you missed this last pump, or if you didn't make the gains you were expecting to, this is your second chance. We are at a bottom or close to the bottom, and I don't know. I think the market is, I haven't checked the market. I don't even have the market open right now, but it's obviously all looking very low. It's all looking very down. So I'll probably put like an image around here of just how the market is doing right now, but it's obviously very down. So if you missed the last pump, this is your second chance. This is the best time to accumulate money in the market. And there's many strategies to do so. You could be having money ready for the quick gains, which are going to be the short-term ones, the ones that give you the most money, or you could be accumulating money for the long-term gains. Examples of that would be getting into a high market cap coin. such as Ethereum, Bitcoin, Solana, Avalanche, all those examples. Those are coins that you could get into with very big amounts of money as a savings account almost for the long-term gains. If you're in it for the short-term gains, or if you're in it for the long-term gains. And I'm going to be giving you, right now, straight off the bat, the best methods to make a lot of money in crypto. Long-term and short-term. We're going to start with the long-term, and then we're going to work our way down to the short-term. First, there's staking, which is obviously a long-term sort of way of investing. The best part about staking, in my opinion, I think it's the compound growth, compound interest growth. Just because over time, let's say you invest in a coin, its APY is probably like a 6%. I know on crypto.com you can get a 6% APY for Ethereum, which is a great one to, accumulate good amount of money in for the long term, right? Because I see Ethereum flipping over Bitcoin in terms of market cap, Ethereum being the main coin of the market, the number one coin in the market. I see that happening 100%. It's almost inevitable just because of how Ethereum has taken over the market. I mean, you don't see people buying NFTs with Bitcoin, do you? You see them buying it with Ethereum. Ethereum being the leading currency in these markets. People buy NFTs with Ethereum. People buy anything that's online in the crypto, area, it'll be bought with Ethereum. So I see staking when it comes to long-term potential. We're talking 10 years, 5 years. That's kind of like, that's pretty long-term, right? 5, 10 years, 60 years, whatever, right? Obviously the longer the time, but let's say 5 to 10 years. I see a 5 through 10x potential right here. Right? If you're making 6% annually of whatever you're investing, and you're accumulating a good amount of money in it, this is your savings account, right? For the next 5, 10, 20, 30 years. I see insane 5 to 10x potential. If you're considering crypto a savings account, which I think with the growth that it'll have over the years, that's a safe bet, right? It's a pretty safe bet. I see 5 through 10x potentials with the staking, with just how much the coins are going to grow over time. So you're not only going to make gains off of the earnings, the 6% that you earn, let's say for Ethereum, that those earnings over the years, but also how much the coin grows and the earnings off of that. So 5 to 10x potential long term is a lot of money, especially because you would be investing a lot of money as well. And if you consider it a savings account, you could be having 100K easily in the next 5 to 10 years invested. I'm talking 100K invested. You could have 100K invested in 5 to 10 years. I don't know. That's if you have a lot of good money, right? But you could have 5 to 10K invested. 50K, let's say minimum, right? 50K invested as a savings account. Now 5 through 10x that. We're talking 500K, right? Potential. That's from 50K to 500K. We're talking that type of potential. There's dollar cost averaging, which you dollar cost average and you stake, you have a lot of good potential as well. In the long term, I'm talking, again, 2 to 5x if you dollar cost average over time. During the bear markets you're buying, during the bull markets you're buying, all that jazz. I see a good 2 through 5x long-term potential. Good investment as well. Good sort of savings account sort of thing. Dollar cost average, and I'll talk about it later, but I'll talk about it right now as well. Into probably the two top coins right now, Bitcoin or Ethereum. Those are the coins that you would want to dollar cost average into because you would be putting a lot of money in regularly. You wouldn't want to put it into a very volatile coin. You would want to put it into a very steady, stable coin, right? If you dollar cost averaged between last year to this year, you'd probably be at like breaking even, because I think Bitcoin has stayed pretty much the same. But you'd probably be breaking even or a little bit of profit. So that's that. Now we're going to move into long to midterm. Right? I mean, we're talking like mid to long term, mainly midterm. If you invest in the top 100 coins, you can see some pretty good potential. I mean, we're talking in the midterm, you could already have what you would have in the long term with dollar cost averaging, a 2 to 5x potential as well. Just investing in the top 100 coins. So we're talking about here, maybe in a year. In a year, you could already have 2 to 4x potential, or even a little bit more. Top 100 coins are very much more volatile than Bitcoin and Ethereum. So you could have a lot more, but almost guaranteed we could be looking at 2 to 4x potential midterm. Then there's the short term. This is where it gets a little bit crazier, and I mean, the gap between the potential of the first 3 ideas I just gave you is insane, right? A micro cap, quick trades. This is where we get into those coins that have a market cap value of, I don't know, anywhere 10 million to 500 million, right? We're looking at not 500 million. 500 million is already getting a little bit more conservative small cap, right? But let's say 200 million. Talking 10 million to 200 million. I think anything below 10 million is a little bit too little, but that's what it's all about, right? The very small coins. I'm talking about 5 to 100x potential in these very small micro cap quick trades. And we're talking about in short term. This isn't anything holding. This is very short term quick gains that I'm talking literally 100x potential. So when it comes to these forms of trading, how much do you want to invest for each sort of category or each sort of method? Let's put it into an illustration, right? Let's get an image up here. So I don't have any, I'm not a professional editor. I don't really know how to do a lot of these things yet. But, so I'm just going to draw it. I'm just going to draw it here on paint. So, how much money? That was terrible. How much money should you invest according to each of the categories, right? According to each of these methods. So we're going to be taking risk into the equation, right? There's going to be risk and how much money. So this is the risk. So this is very little risk. Little. And this is high risk right here. I'm sorry, I'm literally writing with a mouse. This is not the best way to write. But little risk, high risk. And this is how much money you're going to be investing. Little risk, more money. High risk, less money. It's pretty simple. So the littlest amount of risk in any coin would be probably Bitcoin and Ethereum. That's the littlest amount of risk that is in the market right now. And that's where you would want to put the most of your money. That's where you would want to accumulate the most of your money. Then around here in the middle, kind of like, not too much, like the average. You know, you don't want to put in crazy amounts of money, but you don't want to put in very little amount of money because then, you know, you won't be making that many gains. It's probably the top 100 coins. Top 100 coins, this is where you would want to have, you know, in the middle, medium risk, medium amount of money. And then there's the very obvious high risk, where you don't really need to put in a lot of money. I mean, if you have the potential of making 100x, right, you don't need to put in that much money. And so that's why you don't want to risk a lot of money when it comes to these very high potential coins. So right here in the high risk would be the small cap, very micro cap coins. I suck at writing. Please don't criticize me. So more money into the very little risk, medium, top 100, and then little bits of money in the very high risk small market caps, because you're going to be making a lot of good potential. I mean, if you put in $100 in a very small market cap coin, 100x potential, boom, you have what, 10K? So what exactly do we want to be looking at in this next bull run? We have the chance, we have the second chance now coming up. The market is down. We could be experiencing another moment. And until then, I'm not going to be starting to invest into these ecosystems. I'm not yet going to invest in these ecosystems. I have said what coins I'd probably invest in, top 100 coins that I think are pretty safe. You know, I said them in my last video, Phantom, Harmony. They've all been doing very well. Harmony especially. Harmony has been sustaining despite the these down moments that we've had. It's sustained. As a matter of fact, it's gone up. I mentioned it at 22 cents. It's currently, last time I saw it, 32 cents. So it's gone up 10 cents. What is that? 50% almost? Yeah, like almost a 50% gain. It's nice. And then we have Phantom, which I talked about it. I think at 220. It's at 240. At the moment, and it went all the way up to $3 since I mentioned it. So, good narrative. And I still see the other coins as well that I mentioned. Sandbox has good potential. This is a good time to invest. Polygon is another one. It had its little moment, and I said ZK rollups are trending at the moment, are going to be trending, and they're going to continue to trend. So Polygon is still a good early hit. So those are the coins that I see having the best potential in this next bull run. I think those are that's the narrative at the moment, and that's exactly what we need to be looking at. Every time that there's a coin that is picking up some attention, and it's just starting. I mean, we're talking about attention that is being picked up literally at that moment. If we start seeing multiple people talk about it, and just in that moment, that's when you want to get into the narrative. Right? Sure, it's a little risky getting into a coin the moment that somebody talks about it, right? But that's exactly the point, right? This is the narrative. It's about getting there early. If people are recognizing that it's a narrative to be talked about, then it's most likely going to continue to be talked about over a bit of time. It's going to be talked about for a little bit of time. It isn't going to be something that'll just die out of nowhere. So I'm going to be talking about right now the ecosystems that I believe are still in the narrative, or that are about to come up in the narrative, and people are going to be talking about it a lot, and people are talking about it right now. And if people continue to talk about it, even during a bear market, that just means that the potential that is just waiting, the money that is being accumulated into these projects, into these ecosystems, is going to be insane for the moment of the bull run. Right? So first ecosystem that I don't think has reached its full potential, and it was starting to, and then this bear market came in, and it kind of stopped everything. But knowing that it hasn't reached its full potential gives me and people still continue to talk about it, gives me the idea that this is going to be a really good one when it hits, right? And it's Polkadot. Polkadot has been talked about for many months now. Then kind of came in this little bit of a very high short leverage trading into Bitcoin and everything, and so that's why we're starting to see this very sort of bear situation here. But I'm not saying that this is how it's gonna be. This is gonna be the bear market. We're in a bear market now. We're not. I don't think we are. There's just a lot of leverage trading going on, and that's kind of what happens. Then we have Phantom. Phantom is just getting into the narrative, right? It's just being talked about. It's obviously growing despite this bear market that we're in quotation marks, right? This short little bear moment that we're having, right? It's being talked about. It's still growing despite these situations, obviously meaning there's some narrative behind it, and it's kind of keeping it at a good level to get into it. I got into it very early. I had actually gotten into it a lot earlier than I actually went into it, because I first saw it and I started liking it at 25 cents. I'm not even going to lie to you. I wanted to get in a quick buck, right? And I sold too soon. But I got into it at 25 cents, sold at like 50. Nice little 2x, right? Quick buck. And then, yeah, then I invested again at like $1.30. But I'm still at a really good profit, right? I invested in it at $1.30. I talked about it at $2.20 in my last video, and we saw it go all the way up to $3, and I see it going even higher. I'm taking profit here and there. Doesn't mean I don't believe in it. You know, I'm going to talk about it, why it's a good idea to take profit actually eventually. Another ecosystem that I don't think it had its moment, but I think it still has so much more to come. It's just starting, I believe, and it's Avalanche. Avalanche is another ecosystem that I think has so much being built under it, and it just started. I think it's something that is just starting, and even then it had a huge pump. So if it's just starting, the potential that I see in the long term is definitely a really good one, and in this next bull run that's happening. And then finally Luna. I think Luna is gonna have an insane ecosystem. I think the two top ones. I mean, I'm looking at all of these, to be honest. All of these top four, Polkadot, Phantom, Avalanche, and Luna, I think are gonna absolutely destroy it, shred it in this next upcoming bull run, because the ecosystems that are being built under it, and just how much narrative is happening around them is insane, and it's gonna be really good. Then best category to watch, I believe, is still gaming, and it'll be gaming for the next decade, century, just because of how much growth there's gonna be. We're going to start seeing AAA companies getting into the crypto metaverse. We're going to start seeing so much stuff getting into this gaming category, and it's all going to grow in the gaming category, because that's just going to be the biggest thing. That's where the most gains are going to be. That category will always be the biggest, and that's where you're probably going to want to look into those small micro cap coins. That's where those big gains are going to be. This is not the time to panic and sell, guys. This is not the time to do that. If you are at a loss right now, hold it, buy more when the time is right as well, because I wouldn't suggest buying right now. I want to have an assurance that we're about to go back up, because we could continue to go down a little bit lower, right? I could see us going to the high 30Ks, right? It's a possibility, but we need to see an assuring moment that we're going to start going up. We could not go to the high 30s, right? We could not go to the 30Ks, but I need to see an assurance that we're about to start going up as well, right? So when we cross a certain point, I'd say probably a nice 5-10K candle almost, right? If we make it back up to 48K and we sustain it there, just maybe, right? We might get back into it, and that's where I'll start investing again. But at the moment, just dollar cost averaging into Ethereum. Hold it, stake it, long term. That's my long term. During these very bear markets, very little bear moments, I'm going to dollar cost average, stake, long term. This is my long term investments during the little bear moments that we have, right? During the bull moments that we have, the bull runs, That's where I invest into the very quick gains, right? I'm going to make easy 10x right here, 5x there, all that jazz. It's not hard to make money in crypto, guys. I'm just going to leave it at that. It's not hard to make money in crypto. You just need to be smart, like I mentioned in the beginning. And it doesn't take much to be smart. Sometimes it takes bad experiences to learn. I know I've had my bad experiences, and that's how I've learned from it. I started off in crypto by losing $800. I got into it kind of at a peak, right? And I will no longer do that. I learned from that mistake. I'm not gonna do that anymore. And that's why even during this little bear market that we're having, I'm still at a profit all time. So I'm learning from those mistakes, and in order to avoid you guys from learning from having to go through those experiences, that's why I'm here. I'm going to give you some tips to give you a better chance at avoiding those losses. So I've come down with a list of just tips, right, that I think are going to be essential when it comes to making gains and avoiding losses. First, don't buy during a large pump. Instead, take profits during the pumps. Like I said earlier, I was taking profits on coins like Phantom while they're going up, coins like Harmony as they're going up. Why? It doesn't mean that I don't believe in them, right? I'm taking profits. I still have some money invested in there, but you have to take profits because I took profit at like $3 Phantom, and where are we now? I think it's at like $2.40. Made it all the way down to $2.26 or something like that. Reinvest. I could reinvest the money that I took profit in, and boom, I have more Phantom. Right? I could do that, or I could just take profit every time it pumps, and then reinvest at a lower point. That's just how it works. It doesn't mean that I don't believe in it. I'm just going with the narrative. If I see something pump too much, it most likely means almost 100%. This is a 99.99% chance that it's going to go back down very quickly for a very short amount of time. So take profit, right? Take that chance. You won't see it probably get to the same level in like a week or two. So take profit. I think that's the best thing to do. Take profits. You'll never regret taking profits. Don't hold microcap coins. That's the second advice. You're not in it for the long term. Okay, these are coins that are going to make 5 to 100x potential in maybe a month, maybe 2, right? 4 months max. This is not a long-term hold. Do not hold microcap coins for too long. Prime example of that is what's happening right now. During these bear markets, you're going to see your coin go down 50, 60, 70%. A lot of microcap coins don't last long. They don't last long. They don't last the long term that you're expecting it to. They're most likely going to die out essentially. So you want to avoid that. Do not hold microcap coins for too long. Make your quick gains, take profit as it's going up, and let it go. Buy and sell microcap coins depending on the narrative. If something is picking up a lot of narrative, gaming coins essentially are always picking up a lot of narrative. Invest in those coins and sell during the moments that you start seeing the market go down. Right? If the project is actively progressing, you want to see if the project is doing good. If the project is accomplishing their goals, they're going through their roadmap, they're hitting every spot, every goal that was in their roadmap, and that's good. During those hard pumps, take profit. Number 4, hardest thing to do in this market is not to trade emotionally. I 100% agree. I 100% get that. I have traded emotionally before. Don't trade emotionally. It's the hardest thing to do. The hardest thing to do is to sell at a profit, at a good profit, because you think it'll go higher. I had a bad experience literally in this last bull run. So you see, I'm still learning. I'm still learning through the bad experiences. Had Polka City go all the way up to $2.80, which was its peak. It reached it again. I held it through. I was like, it could go higher, and I was highly debating. I was thinking logically, but I went with the emotional part. I was saying, this is a good place to take profit. I didn't, and well, the rest is history. You can check the price now. You'll never regret taking those nice profits, guys. You will never regret taking those profits. 5. Dollar cost average into Bitcoin or Ethereum, preferably Ethereum for the better upside. When it comes to those long-term investments, get into Ethereum, dollar cost average into it during bull markets, during bear markets. You want to invest. This is a long-term investment. Money that you want to kind of have in the savings account that you'll look into 5 to 10 years later, and boom, you're a millionaire, right? Number 6, I cannot stress this enough. Please do research before investing in anything. Do not just go into anything blindly because it's pumping, because you heard somebody talk about it out of nowhere, right? You heard a super famous influencer. You heard Kim Kardashian talk about it. I don't care. Do your research before anything. If you don't, you are essentially gambling, and we all know that no one wins at that, right? We know that no one wins gambling. So you don't want to gamble in this market. You want to be smart. You want to research, so on and so forth. Crypto is giving everyone, and this is going to be my final note. This is going to be the note to end this video. This has been my most real video, so if you guys like it, if you guys enjoy it, please give it a like, subscribe to the channel. It really means a lot to me. I want this video to get to a lot of people. I want people to be smart during these investments. I want people to do well. I want people to make money in this market. So this is as real as it gets. This is where the real money comes in. If you want to become a millionaire, you could choose to listen to this advice. Once again, I'm not a financial advisor, but you could definitely listen to this advice. It'll get you there. Crypto is giving everyone the easiest chance to become rich. Don't be stupid and you'll get it. Don't be stupid and you'll get there. Be smart. Do your research. Don't trade emotionally, and you'll get there, right? You'll be smarter than me. Even you can definitely be smarter than me. So that's pretty much all I have for today. Thank you very much for watching. I really appreciate it. Once again, if you like this information, if you like how real I get, please give this video a like, subscribe to the channel. We wanted to get this out to as many people as possible, and I'll see you guys in the next video.